Shey, and we are about to recap and review season 2, episode 8 of The Real Housewives of Potomac, of course. So, the episode is called War of the Darbys, and I'm sorry I didn't get this to you guys earlier. I have been feeling a little ill, so don't worry about that. We can get started anyway. So, this episode began with Robin and Juan, and they were doing a basketball camp, which was kind of awkward to watch because he is not really into her, and it is as obvious as it could be. Like, I don't know how I could get more obvious, and it kind of hurts to watch. So I'm not even gonna get into much detail about that. It just was like, girl, she's too pretty for that. Then after that, because I'm not spending too much time on that, I just want her to just like move on and let that go. Then we had Karen, who was inviting Monique and Ashley, and they went golfing. And, it was cute. Giselle was the topic of conversation for Miss Monique, who at first was pretending like she couldn't golf. And then all of a sudden she started hitting those balls out of the park because she was picturing Giselle's head as the actual golf ball. So that was kind of funny. I'm just like, okay, they need to just go ahead and have a conversation and hash this out, because them like throwing that little shade. I mean, it's cute. It's funny, but it was silly. But I was just like, okay, this is getting to be too much. Just go ahead and have a conversation and let it be known that y'all don't like each other. And after that, when Ashley was there, she was also golfing, and both of them came to golf in heels. I don't know if I would try that, but golfing isn't my thing, so hey. But, Ashley, she was there, and, Karen just basically told her in so many words to mind her business, because Ashley has been getting into it with the lady. She's been minding everybody's business but her own. And she's talking about people's marriages when hers isn't so peachy keen, but we can get to that later. We're definitely going to get to that later, because this whole episode was really about them. So everything else is just small talk, because the big story is the relationship and the fighting between the Darbys. While Ashley is giving her 2 cents to everybody else's business, she got her own stuff to worry about, let me tell you. So I was just like, I agree with Karen. She got to mind her own business, because that's none of her business. It's really none of her business. But beyond that, you have your own stuff to tend to, honey. You cannot be sitting there worried about what's going on in Sharice's relationship, what's going on in Monique's relationship. You going back and forth with your husband over a restaurant because nobody wants to eat emu or kangaroo or whatever else you say. I'm like, ciao. Bye. So after that, we see, I think it was Karen and Giselle, and Karen is doing a little photo shoot, which I thought was really cute. She had her little hat and her shirt, little buttoned up shirt or whatever, and she's trying to do like some sexy photos for her husband, but classy sexy, and I like that. It was really nice. I think Karen looks great. People hate on her looks. I think she's a pretty lady. I don't think there's anything wrong with her. But anyway, I thought her little photo shoot was cute. Giselle tried to come in and take over. She had a little cat suit on. I was like, okay, Giselle, you better work. So, yeah, that was like a nice little moment to see them getting along, because, sometimes with housewives, every time you see them together, they beefing. So it was nice to see them just hang out and have that moment. And then later we see them have another moment where they're double dating, and Giselle brings her new friend who her mom likes, and he seems to be a nice guy, good looking guy, and I think they were at the racetrack or something, and the so-called Black Bill Gates was having a conversation with Giselle, just letting her know, like, hey girl, start getting ready to settle down, because you're not getting any younger and your looks will fade. And she was like, my looks won't fade. And she said something like he'll be in the ground or something like that before it looks fade. I was like, okay, girl, you keep telling yourself that. I mean, she is very beautiful, but if you telling yourself that your looks will never fade, what you are doing, my dear, is lying to yourself. You're very beautiful, but like, she just a little arrogant, just a little bit. And okay, as beautiful as Giselle is, she is absolutely gorgeous. I don't think there's any bad looking women on the show. There's some that could use some help with they look, like whatever. But can somebody, like, I love Giselle. I think she's really funny. She's not my favorite because I think she stirs the pot a little bit. But the hot pink eyeshadow with the pink top, or I think it's a dress or something she wearing in her confessional. I'm not sure what it is, but you can just see a hot pink top and hot pink eyeshadow. I'm like, girl, like, you are so beautiful, but at the same time, you are telling people to buy your makeup line, and you sit here with a hot pink eyeshadow on. Stop. No. Whoever said that was a good idea, like, you need to have a conversation with them and be like, no, I'm sorry. And I'm sure the makeup artist who did that is a wonderful person, but that was not a good idea, and it does not read well on camera. The hot pink eyeshadow with the matching top in the confessional? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Just like Giselle says, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. So, I don't know about that. Then we had the really cute moment with Monique and her husband Chris. I love their relationship. They really seem to like enjoy each other's company, love each other, and they were like singing the kids to bed and all that stuff. And I just thought that was so cute. I love seeing them together. Then they had the little time outside, smoke a little cigar, chill for a little minute. That was so cute. I loved it. I think they have a really cute family, and I think they said they want to have more kids, which will be a great addition because that house is big as hell, so they can fit as many kids as they want to have. And then, what was the moment that tripped me out was when her son Christopher, she was putting him in the bed, and he was like trying to grab her boobs or something. I was like, clearly he was breastfed because he like grabbing at her, tried to kiss her on the chest or something like that, and she was like, I'm gonna tell your dad. I'm like, he was clearly breastfed. How long ago did you stop? Because he looked like he was still trying to get I don't know. That moment kind of was like, oh, all right. But yeah, that was that. And so overall the episode was all right. It wasn't horrible, but let's get to the main event, the event of all events, which is ding ding ding, Ashley versus Michael. The war of the Darbys. Yes, baby, it went down, okay? So it all begins with Ashley and Michael. They're waking up to one another in bed. You think it'd be soft and sensual, but it's not. Because they already have tension. And what's the tension? This daggone relationship that is like falling all over the place because of this business, this restaurant. They serving food that nobody in the DMV areas wants to eat or whatever. I'm like, why y'all not going to the restaurant? But I don't blame you because I'm not going to eat some kangaroo either. I mean, I would like to see a kangaroo on National Geographic or something, but who is sitting down at a table and like, yes, I would like, some rice and some asparagus. Oh, and some kangaroo, medium rare. Like, no, not child. So anyway, Ashley has the right idea because she is like letting him know, like, hey, we need to get this menu together. Let's go ahead, get these people in here. Let's have some critics come by, have them taste some new cuisine. We'll still have some other stuff, but let's start introducing other foods that's going to attract people in this area because they're not out here to eat emu. Like, they're just not here for it. I just don't. I mean, I obviously that's where he's from, so he wants to bring a little bit of himself to the U.S. Hey, nothing wrong with that. But are you really thinking that people just want a big fat like kangaroo steak? Like, and he is just like so adamant about it, and she's like, we wake up to each other, we're not even caressing each other anymore. It's just they just don't have the chemistry anymore. It's gone from caressing each other to crunching numbers, and I feel kind of bad for her. I'm like, dang girl, that's messed up. And so they trying to get things together. Well, she's trying to get things together to make some changes, and he is not here for it. So fast forward to her being at the restaurant planning everything for this dinner. He already, when she told him about it, when they woke up in the morning, whatever, she already told him about it. He didn't seem very excited. So now we go to her actually being at the restaurant, working on a couple things, getting stuff together. This and that needs to be right. Talking to them about the desserts, the foods, all of this stuff. And honey, when I tell you, he pulls up in his little Audi. It was cute though. That was a cute car. He pulls up in his Audi, and I don't understand why you would pull up to then call and argue, but that's what he did. So now he arguing with her on the phone, and she like, well, if you feel some type of way, why'd you come up here to argue? And he's like, no, you want to argue. And then she's like, well, we're still doing it, and something about the restaurant. And he was like, I am the restaurant. And I was like, damn. So he basically let you know, boo, like, this is his stuff, married or not, it's all his. So I mean, I wonder, like, I'm guessing that none of her name is, her name is not on any of this paperwork for this restaurant. Maybe he's the full sole owner, the sole proprietor of this restaurant, because the way he was talking to her, I was like, ooh, it sounds less like it's a partnership and more like you just work for him. You sound like an employee, boo. I don't know if you can really be changing the menu like that. It sounds like he is your boss. He not just your husband, he's your boss. And at one point in the argument, she was like, you treat me like you are my parent, not my partner, or something like that. Well, yeah, you kind of gave him that power, because everything is just like based on him, his dollars, his coins. You know what I'm saying? So when they losing money, he's the one who's feeling like he's losing the money, even though it's a marriage and 50-50. See, we don't know if she signed a prenup or what. So he might have all his money set to the side, like, I'm losing money on this restaurant. But sweetheart, even if you lose money on the restaurant, a lot of that is your fault because you picked the menu. Okay, I'm pretty sure that Ashley didn't wake up one day and was like, ooh, I want some emu. That didn't happen. I'm sorry, it just did not. Okay, so he is just like really trying to go at her in a way where he's just letting her know, this is all me, this is all me. But kudos to Ashley, because she was flexing a little muscle. She wasn't letting him just talk down to her and say whatever he wanted to her. She was really on his head, like, boo, you're not gonna talk to me like that. If you feel that way, this marriage is over. Now that kind of is where I was like, that kind of draws the line a little bit, because if you really love somebody, you don't threaten divorce just because they're saying something you don't agree with, or just because they're doing something you don't agree with. Now, it's one thing, like, if it's cheating or it's an abusive relationship or something, that's a whole nother ballgame. But when you just arguing over, a restaurant and y'all have a difference of opinion, your relationship should be strong enough to withstand all of that. So the idea that you would say to your husband, who you love and adore, y'all, happily married, you giving everybody else advice about their relationship. You know so much about relationships. You probably should know that you don't threaten divorce just because you mad and you want to exercise some kind of control. Like, I just was like, that wasn't your best moment, Miss Ashley. But I do like the fact that you stood your ground and you didn't let him just bully you and boss you around, because he pulled up in his car like he was about to check her, and he ended up getting checked. So she was walking around with her striped dress on, letting him have it. Her bun was cute. Didn't you like her hair? Her hair was really cute. So, because I like Ashley. I just think that she needs to stop getting other people's business. But I like her. You know what I mean? She got a little fire in her. She a little firecracker. That's what's up. I like that about her. But at one point in his life, he probably liked it too, because he married her. But right now, he probably don't want her to be a firecracker, because her being a firecracker means she's cracking all over him. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So after they finish going at it and she lets him know how she's really feeling, she moves on, because now the guests are beginning to arrive and they're showing up to patronize the restaurant, come get something to eat, get a little of this emu. Maybe they got some alligator on the menu. Who knows? Anyway, the girls show up. Monique is there. I like Monique. She's one of my new favorites. I like her, and I like the new girl on New York, I think, Tinsley. These two good additions to the show. Go ahead, bravo. Y'all actually getting cast in right this time. Good for y'all. About time. So yeah, Monique's there with her husband. Giselle comes. Robin is there. Karen is there. Sharice is there. And Giselle and Robin had to come, because the first time they showed up at the restaurant, they was trying to check her in her own establishment, and now they're here again, but they were a little nicer this time. They weren't jumping down her throat. I think at one point she was kind of getting a little annoyed with Giselle, because Giselle's like, I thought y'all had a new menu, like, what's this? And she felt like I didn't think that Giselle was saying it in a way where she was like trying to throw shade. I thought it was a genuine question, but Giselle throws so much shade that anytime she says anything, people are kind of on guard, because she throws so much shade that you don't know when she's being genuine and when she's trying to be shady. So I think Ashley kind of was like, have you seen that on the menu? Did you know this was on the menu? We got a caprese salad. I was like, okay. All right, Ashley. But Ashley is already ticked off. She already on 10 because she just got into it with her man, but they don't know that. So while she's standing there, Ashley is standing behind Sharice and Robin, and she's like, Sharice, are you okay? Are you giving me the cold shoulder? And I'm like, well, she would be looking at you if you hadn't stood behind her. So that's kind of your fault because you positioned yourself there. Maybe the camera crew told her to stand there. I don't know, but you talk about she giving you the cold shoulder. What did you want her to do? Do it like a complete 180 in her seat? Like, it don't look like y'all had the swivel chairs. It looked like she was just sitting placed where she was. I didn't think that Sharice was trying to throw shade. Like, you probably should have stood in a different spot if you wanted her to look you dead in your eyes and, whisper sweet nothings to you. I don't know what she was looking for. But I still like Ashley, but she should have just said, hey, Sharice, how you doing, or something. It looked like she was just trying to have a conversation with Sharice, and she didn't know how to go about it. So then she was like, girl, are you giving me the cold shoulder? Like, no, if you're trying to make up with somebody, you don't start the conversation like that. You start the conversation with like, are you enjoying the food? Do you need another drink? Is your waiter taking care of you? You figure out nicer ways to go about bringing up a conversation. Yeah, you probably want to talk to her because you want to apologize for the things you said. That's very big of you, very mature of you. But you don't start the conversation with, are you giving me the cup? Child, Ashley, I like you, but we're going to work on Ashley a little bit. She got a little maturing to do. But I like her. I think she has a good spirit. She has a good heart. She has her moments where she do some little shady stuff, and Robin let it be known, like, I also have a problem with you because you brought up my relationship, and she kind of saying like, oh, Ashley was kind of making it like, oh, I was looking out for the best with you and everything like that, but Robin is like, I don't think that you were, because if you were truly looking out for my best interest or whatever, you wouldn't have brought it up at Monique's house at that party. You would have called me on the phone and told me that people spreading rumors that Juan is dating somebody else. You wouldn't have outed me in front of everybody or made it a topic of conversation for everybody. You would have called me one-on-one, and Robin is 100% right, but that shows Robin's maturity versus Ashley's lack of maturity in some respects. I still like you, Ashley, but you could work on being a good girlfriend. Just saying. If that's really truly your friend, okay, yeah, her and Giselle was cool, so you thought you would bring the conversation to Giselle, but at the end of the day, you knew the conversation was going to get back to Robin, so why not be the person who brings it to her and brings it to her in a very respectful manner? And it didn't make anything better when Robin brought up the fact that she did it to her last year when she was talking. I think the girl name was Katie. She was talking to Katie and saying that basically Robin was broke and telling everybody about Robin's finances, and it came out that Robin's ex-best friend, her and Juan's ex-best friend, stole all this money from them, and then he committed suicide or something like that. But she was Googling them, I guess, and came up on their bank information. Like, even if you Google people, that's on you. That's your business. But why would you go and tell everybody what you found on her, like you dogging her or something like that? Like, I just thought that was so, it just lacked tact. And I like you, Ashley. I like you, but it's hard to defend you sometimes, girlfriend. It's hard to defend you because, the behavior, you're not always, she just always is not a good girlfriend to me. I think that she tries, but Ashley, she got a lot of growing to do. Just like what you seen when she's threatened divorce because he might make a business decision that you don't like. That was sort of an immature response. You know what I mean? Like, she got things to work on. But I did like that she apologized to Sharice. Sharice was kind of like, I think she accepted her apology, but she was still kind of like, whatever, girl. You just asked me, was I giving you the cold shoulder, when you could have just said something a little bit different than that. But who knows? Maybe Sharice was giving her the cold shoulder, but if you're really trying to get back in her good graces, or you trying to be cool with the girl again, you might want to find a different way to approach the situation. Just saying. Just some advice, you don't have to take it. So yeah, that happened. And then, what was that speech? I don't know if it was a speech or it was a toast. And she's like, yeah, don't ever work with your spouse and all this stuff. And I'm like, girl, these people don't need to know your personal business. This is like when Sharice gave that speech and she was telling people she about to change her last name because basically she about to get a divorce. Like, people don't want to know all that information. Just get up there, say, hey, how y'all doing? Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Love y'all. Good day. Enjoy the libations. Okay? That's all you need to say. You don't need to go to that extra mile and start spilling your tea. Don't spill your, I guess you might as well spill your own tea, actually, because you're spilling everybody else's. So I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're gonna spill theirs, you might as well spill your own too at your own event with your glass. And then she tried to play it off like she was just joking, but everybody in the room was like, it's a little awkward. Just saying. But that was my take on it. Tell me what y'all thought. I thought it was good. You know, it was a nice no, it wasn't a nice episode. It was a nice nasty episode, if you know what I mean. It was a lot going on. It was a lot of moving parts, but I am interested to see what's gonna happen with Ashley and Michael's relationship, because if he is treating you like you his child, which he kind of does, and you are threatening to leave every time he doesn't say what you want to hear, which you do, I don't know how the two of y'all gonna make it. I'm interested to see by the time the reunion rolls around, what's the status of their relationship. I mean, I hope that they make it, but it ain't looking too good. Tell me what y'all think. Blah. I was about to say bye vloggers, and I said blah. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I thank y'all for watching. Good night.
Thank you for coming to Writer's Vlogs. In the description box, you'll find
links to our social media,
blog,
and anything else you need to know.
Be sure to rate,
comment,
and subscribe to our channel.
Mwah.